Hello, everyone. My name's Liz Dempsey. I'm the content lead on the Payments Canada Summit. To keep you connected year round with the latest developments in payments, we're staying connected with our always amazing expert speakers. With me today is Michelle Hilscher, VP Strategy at BEworks. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm really excited to be here. It's wonderful to have a chance to connect.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you'll be speaking about at the 2024 Summit.
You bet. Well, I'm really excited to join you. I am a behavioral scientist. And as you say, I work as a VP of strategy at BEworks. So we're a Toronto-based behavioral science consultancy. And what I think about on a day-to-day basis is how people make money decisions and what drives our money behaviors. And ultimately, how are we going to improve people's financial well-being by figuring out how to support those underlying financial behaviors, whether it's something like paying down debt or helping them save for the future or seek out financial advice from a reputable source or protect oneself from fraud. So those are the sorts of things that I work on. And for the actual presentation itself, what I want to do is, explore behavioral science and payments and give you a bit of real talk, I guess, about how we make money decisions. I think that oftentimes we imagine that we make decisions by putting in as much time and energy and willpower as, we possibly have. But the real facts are that we use shortcuts and we find ways to save ourselves time and energy and effort. So there are a whole host of different shortcuts that influence payment-related behaviors that I want to explore in the presentation. An example is something like present bias, which is that, simply put, we want to feel good now, and that's something that really drives our behaviors, even if in the long run it hurts us. And how I see that connecting to payments would be on the side of innovation, but also risk. So present bias is something that interferes with our acceptance of new innovations simply because we don't want to take the time right now to explore something that's new and different. And that imposes a little bit of, maybe a tax on us, right? The sense that something's new and that we have to learn, maybe be uncomfortable for a little while. As well as we're looking on the side of risk, what we see is that people need to take care of themselves and make sure they're doing those self-protective behaviors that should kick in when, people are at risk or in danger. But what we see is that there's, again, this real focus on the present moment and something called this ostrich effect can take place, where people might kind of know that there's a risk, but they'd rather keep their heads buried in the sand because it's difficult. We don't want to disrupt the status quo. We want to just, kind of feel like things are okay.
That's so interesting. And in terms of how all of these trends and behaviors relate to payments, what do you think should be top of mind for businesses and consumers as they're kind of integrating this knowledge of behavioral science and payments? How will that help them to make better decisions down the road? And why should payments be top of mind to them?
Yeah, for sure. So I think one of the things to keep in mind here is that it's not all bad news, and that as much as behavioral science is about, uncovering the challenge, the problems, the reasons why, behavioral science is also being used to build products and payments experiences with customer behaviors in mind. So for example, you can create behaviors that stick by going into the research on habits, but also on psychology of ritual. And so I think these are the sorts of things that will make for very interesting conversations at the Payments Summit this year. And, I think the future of payments, while it's about faster experiences, increasingly digital experiences, integrated experiences, potentially also riskier experiences. I think what should be top of mind for businesses is that there is great opportunity, but there is also risk And I think that the way that behavioral science plays into all of this is that it's what helps to bring things into balance. That's what I've been thinking about. So we're able to help mitigate risk and also make sure that consumers extract the most value that they possibly can from these new experiences and new technologies that they have available to them. So I think that that's really the role that behavioral science plays.
And remembering it's not just the payment itself, but there's the people who make the payments too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, and what are you looking forward to most at the 2024 summit?
I am a payment summit newbie. I went last year for the first time ever. So I'm just looking forward to being there again and re-immersing myself into this community that I've discovered. I'm hoping to have a lot of conversations about a few different themes that really are exciting to me. So the first would be about payments and consumer identity. So how do people define themselves or maybe redefine themselves based on their payments behaviors? I'm also really interested in frauds and scams and security. So what leads to vulnerability and how do we help people to, make sure that they're protecting themselves without necessarily adding in more layers of friction? I think behavioral science offers some alternatives that make the process easy still, but also safer. And the last theme that I'm really hoping to have many conversations about would be financial well-being and behavior change. So how can the future of payments contribute to positive behavior changes for Canadians overall?
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle. We're so delighted that you've joined our payment community and looking forward to hearing more from you at the 2024 summit.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Michelle.